Alright, first graders, today you're going to be making a ceramic or a clay turtle. And our turtle today is really going to focus on that element of our texture. Texture is how something feels. So we're going to be making it look bumpy or rough, smooth, all sorts of different textures. So when you get your clay, a small piece, you're going to start by dividing it up into two parts. One part is going to be the legs and the tail. One part is going to be the shell. To make the shell, I need to make a ball, so I'm going to pat my clay into a round ball, kind of like making a snowball. I could even roll it on my tabletop to make a ball, but I like to just pat. Once my clay is kind of like a ball, okay, it doesn't need to be perfect, I'm going to use some texture rollers to roll out a shell. So with my texture roller, I'm going to just flatten it a little bit and then roll it across. Flatten it a little bit and roll it across. I could go the other direction or maybe even use a stamp. I am creating textures on my shell. I think I'm going to do that one more time on the other side so I have a nice wavy texture. I could use my clay tool and I could draw textures, maybe like some polka dots. Whatever you would like to add for your turtle's design on his shell. Thinking a lot about that element about texture. When we're also thinking about texture, we want to think about how it's going to feel when it's fired. So if there's any sharp spots or spots that poke out, those are going to fire and they're going to be pokey. They're going to be sharp. That's their texture. So make sure any parts that stick up are smooth back down so that my turtle doesn't have a sharp shell. Alright, now I'm ready to think about the turtle's legs, and I'm going to make two legs and I'm going to turn them into an X. So to make my turtle's legs, I'm going to divide up my clay again into three pieces. One leg, two legs, a head and a tail. And to make my legs, I'm going to make a coil or a snake. If you've ever played with Play-Doh, you probably know how to do this. I can either roll the coil in between my hands, I can roll the coil on my table. One thing that I know about clay is made out of mud. Okay, you might notice that your hands are kind of looking a little bit dirty. That's okay. And water. And that water, that moisture, when I touch the clay or I roll it on my table, starts to get sucked out of the clay. It starts to go somewhere else, like into my hands or the paper. So I really only have 1 or 2 times to work with my piece of clay before it's all dried up. And you only get one piece. So if you try to make the legs twice or you try to make the shell twice and it's not working out, please raise a quiet hand and have me come over and help you so that your clay doesn't get too dry. Alright, here's my legs. I'm going to put them in an X across my turtle. Okay. Now to make my clay attach, I need to do something called score and slip. And what I'm doing is I'm kind of scratching up the clay with a toothbrush. That texture is kind of scratchy. I'm either going to scratch on my clay turtle's legs. I'm also adding a little bit of water. That's going to act kind of like the glue. And then I'm going to press. And that's just like when we count to 10, when we glue a piece of paper down, we always count to 10 to make sure that it sticks. I need to make sure that I press those legs into my turtle's shell. Alright, last coil is for my head and my tail. I'm going to pull a little bit off for the eyes as well and set it off to the side. Alright, the head and the tail is going to go right down the middle. So I get out my toothbrush and I give it a little tickle. Give it a little tickle. Press it down. Maybe try to smooth it out a little bit so my texture on the back is smooth. Okay, it is the back, so it doesn't matter too much, but I might try to have a smooth texture on the back. Alright, and flip my turtle over. Now I'm going to decide, I think this is going to be the head. I'm going to push that up a little bit. And this is going to be the tail. I've got my legs and my feet. For my turtle's eyes, with that little piece that I pushed off to the side, I'm going to make 2 round balls. Okay, and I think I'm going to divide this one in half because that looks like a lot of clay for eyes. And get my toothbrush out, give it a little tickle. With my clay tool that I was adding designs to, I could also press it in to make kind of like little pupils for my clay turtle. And I'll give them a mouth with the side. I could also think about little toes. Maybe press down. Any clay that's thinner than my finger, like if I made my coils really, really thin, those would break in the kiln. So you don't ever want any piece of clay to be thinner than your finger. Alright, my turtle is looking finished. When you are done, you need to please raise a quiet hand. You might have to wait a little while, so go ahead and get your sketchbook out. If that's you, your turtle is done, just put them off to the side and get your sketchbook out, because what I want to do is come around and on the back or the bottom of your turtle, I'm going to write your name, Miss G, and your class code. So if you're waiting and it seems like a while that you have your hand up in the air because I'm helping everybody with their clay turtles, just go ahead and put him off to the side and get out your sketchbook. I'm so very excited to see how these clay turtles turn out.